Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about a payment tool that looks simple, modern, and helpful on the surface, but carry a much deeper business model underneath. Buy now, pay later. At first glance, it feels like a convenience feature. You see a product you want, you split the cost into a few smaller payments, and the purchase feels easier to manage. But underneath that surface is something much bigger. Buy now, pay later is not just a payment option, it is embedded retail credit built directly into the moment of desire, designed to make buying easier to say yes to. Most people think of buy now, pay later as harmless flexibility. The shopper is on the phone, card in hand, and it feels like a smarter way to shop. Maybe even safer than carrying a large credit card balance. The logic sounds simple: split the cost, reduce the pain, and make the purchase manageable. That is the visible story. But the hidden story is that the consumer is no longer judging the full price of the item, they're judging the installment, and that small change in framing can completely reshape the buying decision. Social and mobile shopping culture is important because it shows how naturally this model fits into our modern shopping behavior. People browse together, compare things on their phone, share products, and move from attention to checkout very quickly. Shopping is no longer always a separate intentional trip. It can happen in conversation, in scroll, in a social moment, or while standing inside a store. This is why buy now, pay later has grown so powerfully and exponentially. It lives exactly where digital culture already encourages fast wanting and immediate gratification. What is really going on is not just flexible payment, it is checkout reframing. Instead of asking, do I want to spend this full amount right now? The customer begins asking, can I handle these smaller payments? That different matters. The merchant wants the purchase completed, the platform wants the transaction to go through, and the customer wants the item without feeling the full weight of the price today. So the visible product is payment flexibility. The hidden business is reducing purchase resistance. This model works spectacularly because it aligns with modern life almost perfectly. People shop on laptops, on phones, at work, at home, and in between other tasks. They are already used to speed, convenience, and one click decisions. Buy now, pay later fits directly into that environment because it removes friction at the exact moment the buyer is closest to hesitation. It does not have to create desire from nothing. The shopping culture already did that. It simply makes the purchase feel easier to complete. The hesitation and decision moment captures the emotional tension at the center of the whole topic. The customer is thinking, maybe comparing, maybe unsure, maybe trying to justify the purchase. This is the exact moment that buy now, pay later is built for. It steps in when the shopper wants something but does not want the full immediate pain of paying for it all at once. This is why this model is so compelling. It converts doubt into manageable installments and manageable installments into a completed order. This is where the business model becomes even more revealing. Buy now, pay later is not only about helping the shopper, it is also about helping the merchant. When a retailer places pay in four installments right at the checkout in store, that payment tools become part of the sales process itself. It is not outside the purchase, it is inside the conversion engine. That makes the real hidden customer is not just the shopper, it is also the merchant who wants fewer abandoned carts and more completed sales. This shows how large this lane has become. These are no longer niche payment tools. There are many brands, many platforms, many checkout integrations, and many ways for the same basic installment logic to appear in front of the shopper. That matters because once a behavior spreads across many brands, it starts to feel normal. And when installment based shopping begins to feel normal for ordinary, everyday purchases, the business has already won a major psychological battle. The art of the images is our cultural layer. Buy now, pay later is not just about paying for necessities. It can attach itself to style, image, beauty, status, and impulse consumption. Once installment credit becomes normal, not just for big purchases, but for everyday wants, the line between managing cash flow and financing consumption starts to blur. That is where this topic becomes thought provoking. The customer may believe they are simply being financially flexible, but the system may be encouraging them to normalize debt like behavior for more and more ordinary consumption items. The final takeaway is that buy now, pay later platforms do more than let people split purchases into smaller payments. They reshape the psychology of shopping itself. They help merchants convert hesitation into orders, and they help consumers experience buying as easier and lighter in the short term, even when obligations accumulate in the background. This is what makes this such a dynamic, hidden business model. The visible product is the flexible payment. The hidden business is turning checkout friction into completed sales by delaying the full filling of the cost. Thank you.